Hey there, welcome back friends. In this video we will talk about microservices. So let's get started. Now friends, when it comes to microservices, what are microservices? Microservices are microservices deployed in different environment, and the microservices communicate with each other, and definitely for the user it's a single application. Now this is cool, this is nice, but how the internal communication will take place? Now the obvious answer could be that the communication will take place on network. Well, that is cool, but the addresses of the microservices may change time to time. For example, the apps may be removed from the development environment. New development or new microservices may be deployed in the development environment. The addresses of the microservices may change. Moreover, a single microservice might be deployed into multiple environments for load balancing. Even that is possible. Now, in order to automate all of these stuff, or in other words, in order to work with all of this dynamic environment, there are two things which we can do. Let us try to understand how we can resolve the addresses. What are the two solutions which we can think of? First solution is hard coding the URL, the solution which we are using as of now. But hard coding the URL have definite disadvantages, because definitely we are hard coding the stuff. Every time the address changes, we have to change the hard coded URL, and there is a scope of human error again. So hard coding the URL isn't a best solution. The second solution is the use of discovery service. Now this discovery service will discover these microservices and provide the appropriate paths, that too dynamically. So discovery service is the way to go. So when it comes to discovery service, there are two types of discovery service. Client side discovery service. Take a note of the name. It is client side, so much of the work will be done by client. Then there is the obvious next type, which is server side service discovery, where the server will do much of the work. When it is client side service discovery, client will do much of the work. When it comes to server side service discovery, definitely server will do much of the work. Let us try to understand how these architecture work. First of all, we will discuss about client-side service discovery, where client will first ask for the address to the discovery service. The discovery service will give the address, and finally, based on the address, the client will communicate with the service. Definitely here, client is doing much of the work. As a result, the name is client-side service discovery. Definitely here, much of the work is done by the client, but the dependency on the discovery service is less. And for example, for some reason the discovery service is not present, even caching is something which is done in the background, and for some time using the cache, again the application may survive, the application may still work even if the discovery service is not present for some time. So this is the advantage, where much of the load is shared between client and the service, and the discovery service is not the epicenter in the application, and even if the discovery service is not present for some time, the application may work by taking help of the cache. But when it comes to server side service discovery, discovery service is in the core center. So whenever we want an address, we will communicate with the discovery service, and for the client, discovery service is the service, and discovery service will indeed be the channel. It will be the gate inside, and discovery service will communicate with the service and provide the result. So here, all the communication, all the networking is via the discovery service. As a result, there is a high level of dependency on the discovery service, and if the discovery service fails, your application fail. But here there is one more thing. There could be multiple discovery service in both client side and server side service discovery. So even if one of the discovery service fails, the remaining discovery service will take up the load and your application will still function. So there is always a fail-safe mechanism. There could be multiple client, there could be multiple service, there could be multiple discovery services where the load balancing will take place. So whenever we work with microservices, scalability and reliability is something which is very good and very easy. So take a note of it. So this is how server side and client side work. So this is how the server side and client side discovery work. So this is nice, this is cool, and that's it. This is the overview, and in our next video we will try to understand how to implement a server and how to discover these microservices. So interesting stuff is coming up. All right, now before ending this video, Edureka is the technology which we are planning to use, and it is client-side service discovery. There are a couple of more technologies like AWS and Nginx, which are server-side service discovery. So we will go with Edureka and we will discuss about Edureka in our forthcoming videos. Alright, so thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.